Hey, how you doing? Just a thought process really. Not been able to sleep for a few weeks due to a build-up of a presentation. So I understand how it is to be a student and studying, and perhaps getting to a point where you've never ever been in the position to do what is expected of what you see other people doing, such as a presentation. How to build a presentation on a PowerPoint. Well, that's a gift and I guess a love language that people perhaps want to see images, to understand pictures, but the love language in expression when delivering a project could actually be delivered vocally. Now, I came to the conclusion, being as I am ex-service user of mental ill health and having to rebuild from childhood trauma to domestic violence victims, how can you say, domestic violence, harassment, sexual abuse, child abuse, all of those things. So education wasn't really front and foremost of my life. As in many of you that suffer from mental health or perhaps have a diagnosis of emotionally unstable personality would have probably struggled through school. Not only did you have issues when you're at home, you would have had the issues when you go to school as well, out into the community. So having to do a presentation has been extremely hard to show where my journey has come from. And I have had a lack of sleep, not going to bed till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and yet not even got 2 words on the paper. And I realised something, that I cannot give what is expected of me. I can only give what is expected of myself. So out with the presentation. It's not going to happen in the way I have seen it done in education, stuff like that. It's not going to happen because out of my remit of education under the mental health and the underlying issues of mental health, I am not prepared to stress myself out any longer over a presentation when I have a mouth. I'm not prepared to do it. I'm a motivational speaker. I am not a motivational computer technology person. I can put videos together. I can. But the problem we have that putting videos together, that if you don't have the technology or the Wi-Fi when you get to the other end, it seems to be a part of not getting enough material out there. And I need to not make sure. As you see, I'm well aware of glitches whenever I've attended somebody else's motivational speaking or PowerPoint. Their computer hasn't worked because they've been relying on the internet. I don't want that to happen to me, so that fear is already there. So I don't want to rely on an internet that may fail me when I get to the presentation. So I decided I cannot do the presentation PowerPoint without assistance, without guidance, and without somebody sitting beside me. That is how I best work, with somebody sitting beside me, so I can see, so I can have things understood that I don't understand. But it's pointless somebody from the other end. We're working blind trying to get support of doing a PowerPoint presentation, and even though you use search engines such as YouTube to Google these PowerPoint presentations, I am still left with the decision of, and I've always been told that when I tell something about something that's happened to me, I tell it from a victim point of view. And I guess that's a good thing in a PowerPoint presentation. But when it comes from the do's and the don'ts, I guess I think I'm just overanalyzing really right now. But I've made a decision. I've made a decision that I've got to stand true in what I want to do, in the way I project my words, and that isn't the way anybody else does it. So I'm going to be true to my presentation, and I'm going to talk, because I've said talk therapy is the only way forward. And I guess I'm just going to tell them about how much stress that I was enduring on the build up to a presentation. So if you're a student or somebody out there studying, I think we just it's about having someone believe in what you do, believe in what you're saying. But I am tackling mental ill health. I am tackling the underlying issues of what causes depression. And in this case, it is a PowerPoint presentation. And I am not prepared to suffer any longer over this hurtful content. I'm not. Being a lone worker is not easy. It isn't easy. And getting the volunteers or somebody to help assist you is difficult, especially when you don't really go out of your house very much. So, for me, I'm going to pass on the PowerPoint presentation and hand out leaflets and maybe a questionnaire to engage the audience instead. I've done a presentation before by video. I guess that's more of a way of expressing. It's already spoken out, therefore it's a better way of communication. So communication is the key, and I am going to be very honest in what I am saying and doing. Now, as you can see, today is 12 in UK time, wherever it's going to be in the world. It's time, and time doesn't exist. We're in the moment, and I'm done having 2 hours or 3 hours to sleep every day on the build up to this presentation workshop. And I'm just going to keep it real. I'm going to explain that I'm done. This is the remit of it. I'm getting exhausted. I'm getting tired by stressing myself out of a PowerPoint presentation. A PowerPoint is not me. I'm a powerful woman, but I get to the point. But a PowerPoint and technology is just not me. Talk therapy is the only way, and I guess I'm going to have to stand by that.